Okay, my anxiety, a daily diary, day 4. So I'll start off by saying yesterday I made my recording in the afternoon, right after work, like around noon. Day was going pretty well, and then I went out. Now to recap a little bit, so for the past since last Wednesday, so not quite a week, but I've been feeling a little. I don't know if I'm under the weather, but I'm feeling a little dizzy, and the dizziness, it's like a heavy head or lightheaded. I'm not sure that medical term. I just feel a little woozy, like weak in the legs and stuff. So it's been giving me anxiety. Last Thursday, I went to a clinic because I thought I was really having some, problem, like physical, medical problem. They checked my heart. They checked everything. I was good. So and progressively from that day forward, I've been getting it's been a lot lighter. It hasn't been as pronounced. But yesterday I had the past 2 days, Saturday and yesterday Sunday, I've been having these extremely physical and panic attacks. The tension starts in my shoulders, creeps up to my neck, goes through my back, goes into my arms, goes into my chest, goes into my head. It's literally I was actually, yesterday I noticed I was actually talking funny. My jaw was getting so tense that I was actually speaking like I had lockjaw or something until it passed. Now the one on Saturday, the panic attack I had on Saturday, I forced myself. I started feeling a little dizzy. I got like a hot flash and I was getting tense, and I just forced myself to talk to the anxiety. I basically have been talking to it, like telling it to go fuck itself, essentially, and talking and continuing to do what I'm doing, whether I'm at work, having a conversation with someone, whatever I'm doing, I continue to do it. And eventually the tension releases and I feel better. Now yesterday I went out with my girlfriend. We went out to get some food, and then we were hanging out, and for some reason, it's also affected by whether I'm hungry or whether I've just eaten. If I get hungry, I don't just get the hunger pains. I get like a tension in my stomach, and then I'll eat. And then if I eat, I won't even say a lot. If I eat enough, and eat like a full meal. Like I had a waffle at this place, and they put toppings on it, and then I had bubble tea. That's it. And we get in my car. And I'm not sure if it was just because of the sugar or just the fruit and the nuts that were on the waffle kind of give me gas or something. But just the feeling of being full, the feeling of having something in my stomach, it just starts radiating through my body, and I'm getting anxious. It's more and more tense. Now I used to have this kind of feeling with pressure, like gas, but I would just drink water and it would subside. The past week, I have to say I've had the worst panic attacks and the worst anxiety I've had in years. At least a year. And I've been doing pretty well. I see a psychologist, talking to her, practicing breathing exercises and things like that, and just keeping myself, if you have anxiety, and this is obviously why I make these videos for me and for people like you, you know the signs. You know when it's coming on. But no matter what, I was telling my girlfriend yesterday, you can have them 4 days in a row. On the 4th day, it's just as scary as on the first day, because, you can easily convince yourself, it must be something very serious. This isn't a panic attack. This is I'm going to have a stroke or an aneurysm. You start thinking, your anxiety will tell you the worst things. Everything, I always say, everything my anxiety tells me is 1, untrue, and 2, not good. Nothing it tells you is good. Nothing. So that's why I fight with it. But yesterday we're in the car, I'm driving her home, 25-minute drive. And it is, and I felt like I was being encased in tension and pressure. It's like I said, it started in my back, up through my neck. My neck was so tense, it hurt to sit up. So I was leaning back in my chair, getting comfortable while I was driving. And as we're talking, it's radiating through my chest, my ribs, my stomach, my arms, my legs. It hit my face, my jaw was tense, my eyes were almost, if I had closed my eyes, I might have just fallen asleep. There was so much pressure. started sweating a little bit, getting tense. So I cracked the window, and this whole time I'm just talking to her, focusing on what she's saying, focusing on driving, and by the time I got her home, and maybe a few minutes after, completely gone. To the point where I was so giddy that I'd gotten through it without really freaking myself out, which is, I guess, the goal, to ride out the anxiety, to ride it out. Know that you're fine and it's just anxiety. But it's just so much, so exhausting. And the reason why it can, I just was so upset. I was on the brink of like getting emotional, like really, I don't want to say I was going to cry, but I just felt like, oh my God, like I made it through, and I was so ecstatic and happy that I made it through. It's almost like winning a race or a marathon. But at the same time, I had this like underlying euphoric feeling of like a little bit of lightheadedness, a little bit of like, everything was brighter. I was like, I probably should have been in a better mood, but I was very concerned, like, what happened to me? Like, all those endorphins, all those hormones and testosterone and adrenaline and all that stuff's pumping through your veins from the anxiety attack, that the absence of it just made me feel like, wow, 1,000,000 pounds were lifted. But I didn't really feel all that great. I mean, I felt way better, and I was able to relax, and I was watching Bill Burr's comedy special on Netflix to get my mind off of it. And I was watching some other things, some comedy, just to get my mind off of it. But I guess what I'm trying to say, or I guess like what happened yesterday, I realized, I don't know. I'm seeing a regular doctor tonight. I made an appointment because I think I have like a sinus infection, which is making my head feel heavy. Possibly an ear thing, which is making me feel a little woozy and off balance. It's all like just probably nothing incredibly serious. But the fact that any little thing out of the ordinary, like my everyday normal anxiety is there, and I'm able to keep it in check for the most part, 99% of the time. Not let myself get into a full panic attack. But as soon as something goes wrong, whether you're physically sick or feeling under the weather or whatever it might be, just an anomaly, a physical medical anomaly that just can hit you at any time, I guess, my anxiety completely takes over, and I have like almost no control. It's another factor that I'm dealing with that anyone would deal with. You would think like, oh, what's wrong with me? What's going on? I hope I feel better tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Those kind of thoughts. But with anxiety, it just makes it like 10 times worse. And it just gives you another thing to like worry about. Like, what if it's this? What if it's that? And it's, like I said, the past week, my anxiety's been as high as it's been as long as I can remember. And my panics, I mean, every day or every other day, just at some point, especially yesterday, I worked. I've been working 7 days, so, I didn't get a great night's sleep on Saturday, and sleep is a great factor. I had a good night's sleep last night, so I predict that today will be a lot better than yesterday. And again, I know sleep is important, so getting a good night's sleep, getting at least 7 or 8 hours of sleep, trying my best. But the fact that if I don't get 7 or 8 hours of sleep, if I don't eat certain things or eat in a certain way or do all these little things that I have to do, these little quirks or whatever you want to call them, these new routines, anxiety just can take over. So, I've been dealing with it probably since I'm young, 11, 12, 13. It really didn't become a major issue, I think, until I was in college, about 10, 11 years ago. So, for the past 10 to 12 years, it's been in my daily life. And before I met the psychologist, it was like my anxiety was peaked every day. And I was just used to always being tense and taut and just uncomfortable. Over the past, since I'd say August, I've made such great strides as far as like feeling better and being able to handle it better, see the anxiety building up and know how to just like squash it before and don't put myself into a panic state. But then what happened this past week really just kind of threw me for a loop. So I have a couple conversations I want to have with the doctor tonight regarding like what I'm going through. I'll even talk to him about the anxiety a little bit, and then I meet my psychologist on Friday, talk to her about it. And I gotta say, I'm really considering some sort of supplement. I don't want to go Xanax or Zoloft or any of those kind of crazy things. I don't want to take pills. I'm not against you if you're taking pills. I don't think, they're just not for everybody, or at least I don't want them for me. I had a lot of success, at least I believe so. I mean, I didn't take it long enough to know, with the CBD, the cannabidiol. the other part of the marijuana plant. Not the THC, not the psychoactive stuff, but the CBD. So I'm going to talk to him tonight because there are a few medical marijuana facilities on the island. And I know they deal in like pills and tinctures and vape. I don't know if they have the extracts, like the pure wax that I was getting from out of state. The only reason I'm not getting it anymore is because, it's like for the potency I wanted, that really helped. Above 70% CBD potency. It's like $100 a gram, and a gram I can stretch it to a week. So, $400 a month is just an expense I can't afford. So, I don't know. I'm going to speak to him tonight and see what happens. Overall, right now, I feel fine. I still have a little heavy-headedness. Like when I'm walking around, moving around, I just was working at the warehouse. I was feeling very, And again, I feel a little bit of pressure. I'm sure it's a sinus infection of some sort. But we'll let the doctor determine. That's another thing about anxiety. Assuming or self-diagnosing. The worst thing we could do to ourselves. Because then you make yourself crazy. One, you're probably wrong in your diagnosis. And two, even if you're right, you're questioning whether or not you're right. Like, how do I actually know? And it's just a horrible, vicious cycle that you don't want to get yourself into. So, that's the update. I think after I go to the doctor tonight, I might make another video. I might not. I might just wait till tomorrow. I'm trying to do at least once a day, but I can always do it twice a day. So, yeah. Day 4. Thanks for watching. If you leave any comments, leave questions. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them in my next videos. And, or feedback of any kind, that'd be great. And other than that, thanks for watching. And, subscribe, set comment, question. And be well. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to relax. All those things help. Thanks.